Tears falling down my face. Now she forever trying to show me how that tastes. Ain't really been dropping, I've been trying to get my straight. Had to sell my prices, 20 mil for every mixtape. Partying every night, don't do it for me, I'm trying to get cake. Level up.
Yo, what's good? It's GBD, episode 4, man. You know what it is.
Boy, let's get it.
Yes, sir. Big Fours. We back here with a special guest tonight, man. My guy, Joe. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Joe, you could introduce yourself real quick if you want to, and then we'll just hop right into everything.
Hey, my name is Joe Munden. I play basketball here at FTU. That's all I got.
All right, word. Cool. You know what I'm saying? So me and you met back, 2016, 2017, somewhere around there, right? I think when you was when we both were young. So that was back in New York, and that's where you grew up. So talk about that. Talk about growing up in New York and dealing with the distractions and that type of stuff.
I mean, New York they call it the Big Apple for a reason, you feel me? It's whole bunch of people there, a whole lot of things to get into. But I think the biggest thing for me was I had guidance in my life. Like my parents always made sure I was good, I was on track. I mean, in school, basketball, made sure I was on top of whatever I had to be on top of. So I thank them a lot for that. And I had motivation from them. You know, they always told me how great I could be. And I don't want to rest on my laurels. So for me, if I got an opportunity to be great, I can't let them down. They gave all they had to me. So for me, I got to give back to them.
For a fact.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's an important thing, like giving back to the people who really looked out for you. So how did you start getting into basketball? Was it your parents? Was it, just walking down the street? New York is, notorious for basketball. Yeah. So how did you start?
I was basically born with a ball in my hand, bro. Like, I ain't have no choice. Like, it was just born and bred. My mom, not my mom, my pops hooped, my sister hooped, my brother hooped. Like, I just didn't have a choice but to hoop. But I feel like, the last one is always the best. So I'm the youngest. I just got to put on. So that's how I got into basketball. Like, from like the age of 4, I think I was 3 or 4. Like, I started hooping. Like, I had the mini hoop in my crib. My dad started taking me to workouts with him. He just made sure I was good.
Or what teams did you play for growing up? Like AAU, high school? Like, talk about that.
All right. So my first AAU team was my pops had a team. So being coached by your father, you know how that go. You just get freedom. You get to grow. So you feeling good. Then grew up, started playing with Castle. I was there with my boy Marcus Matthews. He was coaching me. He really, really helped me take off. Like, he helped my game change. Like, I was with him. He gave me the opportunity to really just like be me, like find out who I am and come into myself. So then I went over to New Heights for my last year of AAU. For me, that was a learning experience. I like the way they do their organization over there. So for me, it was a good way to learn and got me prepared for college. So.
Word, yeah. Definitely circuit teams, they expect a lot from you. They definitely go push you and prepare you for college.
Yeah, for sure.
Being on the circuit, like, what did you learn? Like, how did that help you grow? Like, what did you learn and how did that help you grow?
Oh, being on the circuit, what you learn is you learn everybody's good. Like, every basketball player there is good. So, like, you just got to find a way to stand out. Like, no matter what it is, like, no matter what your thing is, you got to find what you do and you got to do it well. Because, like, everybody's athletic, everybody's strong, everybody's fast, So you just got to think the game. You got to be able to play the game, like, feel me? So I think the best thing I learned was you just got to find what you do and do it well.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Just taking like a little step back and adding on to that. So I mentioned in the beginning, we first met when you were young, and this, like, no knock on you or nothing. But when I first met you, I had no idea like you was gonna be where you at right now. Like, I had no clue you was gonna get all these Division I offers and all that kind of stuff. But it makes sense because if we look back at the era you was playing in New York when you was a freshman, it was like Isaiah Washington, and then even on your team, you got people that's in the NBA. Like, you play with Jalen, Say's a high major. So talk about playing at Scanlon, like being like a historic school, like in the Bronx, and how that really, you know what I'm saying, helped you grow from being someone that was obviously nice at ball, but turning you into that dog, turning you into that player that you are now.
Right. Yo, coming in, I'm not gonna lie to you. It was different. Like, you come in first day, you see Say, you got Rook, Jalen LeCue, we all just hooping, and it's just like, I got a long way to go, bro. Like, you feel me? So it's like being able to see that, it never gives you a chance to like, feel me, like relax. Like every day you know what you're working for because you got guys ahead of you, feel me? And they was like real big brothers to me, like, you feel me? Like guys, like they was really talking to me, letting me know what I gotta work on, helping me, working out with me, you feel me? Like those was really like, feel me? So, I mean, that's just, being at Scanlon was really a big part of who I am now. Like, you feel me? Like, especially being coached by Mitch, like, D-Mitch, as much as he liked to run, you feel me? We was just like, we was in shape. We was, feel me? I was preparing. So like, I feel like being at Scanlon was a big part of where I am now.
That's fine.
I like that.
Yeah, well.
What other players, besides your teammates, did you, idolize growing up in New York?
New Yorkers. Growing up, I like Lance. You feel me? Because he put on a show. It's just like all of the guys that came before me. It's just like everybody has a piece of, feel me, New York. So like being in New York, you gotta be able to, feel me, take something from everybody, but still be in your own. So like that's like what I feel like is most important. Like, feel me, just being able to learn and implement, and like even if you gotta change it to make it fit your game, feel me, just be able to learn. Because when the moment you stop learning is the moment you stop being better. So you just always gotta be able, from people in front of you, whether you feel like they're better than you or not. You can always learn from anybody. Like, no matter what the play is, you can learn from anybody. So I just looked up to a whole bunch of people growing up. Like, a whole bunch of people helped me get to where I'm at now.
I like that. Who would you say was like, this could be AAU, this could be high school, this could be, you know what I'm saying, in college. Who's the toughest matchup you had so far? And I got a feeling, well, I know who you're gonna say.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I done played against so many good players. The toughest match is always the hardest for me, man. I don't even.
You like, if you want, you can give me more than one, but yeah, you could definitely give me more than one because you definitely play against some dogs for sure. We were just talking about that earlier.
For real. Shit. All right. So just keeping it in the CHSAA. Joe Toussaint. RJ
West Virginia, UNC,
AJ Griffin.
Yeah, like, that's league.
Like, played against Cole Anthony, like
league.
Moses. It's a lot of matchups. Like, it was a lot of tough matchups. Bryce Wills.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
How about
a lot of tough matchups, man?
How about when y'all boys played against Providence? That was like your first game freshman year, right?
It was like one of my first. I think it was like the fourth one. Yeah.
Okay. I remember I watched that game live. That game live. How was that game? Because that's a high major school. They got dudes that's in the pros. They got David Duke pro. They got AJ Reeves pro. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't even I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna backpedal a little bit to what I just said, because another tough matchup, Julian Champagny. Absolute
pro.
Absolute bucket. So but yeah, playing against those guys, like, you feel me? Providence, Rutgers. Like, my freshman year, we had a good schedule. So like, you feel me? David Duke, he the truth. Like, he the truth. Like, he's the truth. Like, he do it on both sides of the ball too. So like, playing against pros, you get to see what pros really do. Like, and it's always a measuring stick to see where you at and where you could be. Like, for me, that like, you work to get there. Like, I feel like anybody could get there with the same amount of work. So for me, just, you got to know what to do and just go attack it.
Yeah. And me and Q talked about that too, because in high school he played against David Duke and AJ Reeves as well. He said like the same thing. Like them boys was pros, especially
Boys.
David Duke. Like he did it on both sides of the ball, like lock up 94 feet.
Yeah, them boys is tough.
Nah, David Duke, man, he gave my point guard problems, bro. He was picking up 94 feet. Like my point
And
guard get past half court.
And it's crazy because your point guard now playing mid-major ball. Like it's not like he's a scrub.
Bro, he was top 50 in the country too, bro. Like
exactly.
That's how much levels this shit is.
You feel me? It's levels, bro. It's really levels.
There's really like levels to this shit for real.
But yo, Joe, so you and Q both could speak on this more. Me and Q talked about this in our first episode, but y'all both played high major AAU ball, whether it was EYBL, Adidas, or UAA, which got y'all like afforded y'all opportunities to see the world that y'all might not have seen. So beyond basketball, what was that like to go to different cities, different states, and see stuff, you know what I'm saying, that you wouldn't have seen otherwise?
Right. Yeah, bro. Basketball has let me really see, like, for me, different places. Like, hey, you traveling every weekend. You on a different part of the country. Like, you going to Vegas, you going to Cali, you going to Atlanta. Like, you just all over the place. Like, I feel like that's something that not a lot of people get to do. Like, outside of basketball, like, for me, even myself, like, I don't travel a lot, for me, outside of basketball. So being able to basketball, like you all over the place, you being able to get out of like New York and just seeing the same thing every day, you really get to see like, yo, it's really more to the world than what I'm living right now. Like, you feel me? You see the West Coast, you see how they move, you see the down south, you see how they move, you see, feel me, as far north as you could get. So it's just like everybody's different, and it's like it's just real cool being able to see different things, for me, just learning and experiencing. That's
what's up for real, man. That's really what's up. So this is year 3 for you, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's flying by, man. So, yeah, OD. So I could be wrong, but when you were at Scanlon, you weren't ever thinking about going prep, right? Or were you? You were thinking about reclassing to 21?
Yeah, it was a consideration, bro. It was a strong consideration, but once COVID hit and everything was unsure, man, I just had to go to college, bro. I just had to get out of there.
Nah, I feel you. Because now we're definitely at an era where a lot of dudes in the city, even in Connecticut, a lot of times, like dudes that's playing in like the Hartford Public League, they'll go out to like a NEPSAC school. And a lot of dudes I know in New York do that. Like Hami did that, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people do that in New York. So like, but at the same time, you were still playing in a stacked league. So like that was your decision. You were like, because of COVID, I really just want to stay in and just go straight to college.
Right.
Okay. And then how about college so far? So the adjustment from playing in the you know what I'm saying, the New York City League into going into the Division I, top of the food chain, you know.
The biggest adjustment I would say is getting adjusted to the speed and the strength. Like the speed and the physicality is different. So once you learn how to adjust to that, I feel like basketball is the same everywhere you go. So like once you learn how to adjust to the speed and the calls and how quickly every read has to be made, then it takes time though. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like it's not easy. It wasn't an easy transition by any means, but like for me, the best players adjust quickly. So watching extra film, you know, being in the gym extra, being in the lab, for me, is being able to talk to as many people in higher places as you can. It really helps a lot, being able to adjust to the next level. But it's definitely the speed and the physicality for me.
I feel you. And definitely, like, every time, we obviously didn't see each other that much because I was living in Connecticut, you was living in New York, but every time I saw you hoop, like, your game elevated. So I saw you at a hoop group, and before that was like a couple months. And then when I saw you at hoop group, I didn't see you again until like maybe 2 years later when you was playing against Middlesex. I don't know if you remember that. It was in Connecticut.
Right.
You was playing with the New Heights. You was playing against Matt Nolan, who's from Connecticut. I played against him. He go to Yale. White boy, lefty. He goes to Marquette, I think, Tyler, something like that. He played with Sean. But he was there, and you and the Spanish dude from your team, I forgot his name.
Okay.
Yep, him. You guys was giving him, but y'all was going at it for us. So I'm saying, like, just seeing y'all progression each time I see you is like, I know this dude's gonna be straight. So salute to you on that for sure, because you definitely put it in the work.
Get that, family.
What what would you say though is year 3? So it's like this really go time. What would you say? Obviously, you don't have to share everything, but what would you say is like a goal that you have? It could be a team-oriented, individual goal. It could be for a couple years down the line. But what's something like a couple goals that you have that you're really looking forward and pushing forward to?
The ultimate reason why I play basketball is to win. So at the end of the day, my goal is to win the NEC championship. Feel me? So that's I feel like if I go in every day with that goal, it's just gonna push me to whatever individual thoughts I have. Like not even goals, whatever individual thoughts I have. If I come in every day and I plan on winning, it's gonna push me to be the best. And I have no choice but to achieve my individual goals if I'm just going out there doing all I can to win. So that's really all it is to me. I just want to win. Like I had a real rough year last year. I dealt with a lot of injuries, dealt with a lot of stuff, you know. So I just want to get back out there, be healthy, be flowing, and just win.
Definitely, man. I definitely feel you on that, and I'm gonna be tuned in 100%. Where would you say that, you know what I'm saying, that just I want to win and compete came from? You give that credit to the city, or like where do you think that really came from?
Definitely my family. I got real competitive family, bro. Like everything we gotta win. Like so I just attribute that to my family, just coming in every day and just you gotta compete. Like you really just it's now or never. Like you just gotta go win. Like I mean, if you don't win, then what did you do it for? You feel me? So I gotta win.
Yeah. And how about who y'all got schedule out yet or nah?
Yeah, we got schedule out.
Okay. Y'all got any like high majors y'all playing again this year or not?
We got Pitt on the schedule.
Okay, that's solid.
Richmond on the schedule. Yeah, we got a few good games. We got a few good games.
Okay.
We got Columbia on the schedule. Like we got some good games.
Kill
them, boys. Columbia K.
Kill them.
Gotta kill everything. It's time to kill everything.
For sure. And that one's back in the city, or that's in your guys' spot? Okay. But I mean, like at the end of the day, like FDU is like literally right there across the bridge, so it's really not that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, word. All right, man. Before we get this wrapping up and all that, I want to ask you, top 5 artists right now who you listening to? Who's in your rotation for the top 5 artists, my man?
Top 5. All right, this is a tricky. Yeah. It's like all right. A Boogie.
Mm-hmm.
Lil Baby.
Yep.
I'll go Dirk.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, I'll throw Young Boy in there.
Yeah.
And I'll throw Future in there too.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. I like that.
I get that one.
I'm a little like shocked. I was expecting to hear some of them boys from the Bronx or something like that.
Nah, respect. I feel me. But I just gotta shout. I've been listening to them since I was, for me, a jit. So for me.
Yeah, for sure. But man, that's all I got, Joe. If you got anything to say, Q got anything to say, go ahead.
I just really appreciate you taking the time. You know, we had to reschedule a few times, but we finally got it done. So I really appreciate you, finding time to, record this episode with us.
Appreciate y'all for having me. Always down.
For sure.
Last thing, my guy. What would you say to all the kids out there in your community and anywhere really that's, starting to play ball? What would you say to them overall? What's like the message you got to say to the younger generation?
Don't get stuck in right now. You feel me? Just look bigger picture. It's always a bigger picture. It's always tomorrow. So for me, whatever you're doing right now, whatever anybody's saying to you, just keep your head down, keep working. For me, things are gonna get better.
I like that for real.
All right.
Listen, my guy, Joe Munden, I appreciate you. Salute.
Sure.
FDU, what we shooting guard, point guard, what is it, both?
I'm more than 2, 3. You feel me?
Okay, 2, 3. I like it. We getting bucks this year for sure though. Getting bucks for real, big bucks. Check my guy out, man. FDU, you heard him. He at 2-3, Fairleigh Dickinson University. I appreciate it. That's it for episode 4, GBD the podcast, Big Fours, man. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.